Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today, continuing my 2021 year-end top 10s as we look at my number 9 middleweight in the world right now at 160 pounds. The middleweight contender, Carlos Adames. Adames entered 2021, coming off of a 2020 where he really didn't fight. He had to bounce back after the first career defeat in 2019 to Patrick Teixeira by a close split decision in a fight that, you know, he was the favorite coming in and everybody thought he was going to be the next middleweight champion of the world, our junior middleweight champion of the world at 154. It was a good hard-fought battle with Teixeira, but he lost a close split decision. And then Teixeira later on was about a week or two later when Jaime Munguia moved up to middleweight, was upgraded from interim champion to full champion. And Adames, his dreams kind of went, down the tube for a second, but he came back. And in 2021, he ended up going 3-0 with 2 knockouts. But the one that wasn't the knockout, he beat 2 so-so fighters, like unknown guys, in March and June. And then in December, he got a big opportunity to take on Sergey Derevyanchenko in his first official fight at middleweight on the Tank Davis and Isaac Cruz undercard. And, I said I picked Derevyanchenko to win the fight, but I did say that Carlos Adames was a tough contender and he could pull this one off. And he went in there, outworked a tough Derevyanchenko in a close fight and defeated him by a 10-round majority decision, and now has punched his ticket to bigger things in 2022. And what I mean by bigger things is, first off, he's in line to fight Jaime Munguia in a title, in a final eliminator to determine the number 1 contender. But the WBC champion right now is, of course, Jermall Charlo. So to me, that's an option next, especially since Jaime Munguia is taking on Demetrius Ballard in February. Carlos Adames could line himself up for a title shot if Charlo is staying at 160. But recent talks is that Charlo could be getting the Canelo fight next. He could win the Canelo sweepstakes and get that fight. If that happens, then Charlo would move forward towards, would move up in weight. The title would go vacant. And, Munguia and Adames in the second half of 2022 could collide for the vacant WBC title. That's one scenario right there that could very well happen. Now, it also depends on what happens with Jermell's younger brother, Jermell, who's the WBC and unified champion right now at 154. If Charlo defeats Brian Castaño, he would likely move up into middleweight. If he beats Brian Castaño in a rematch for the undisputed title at 154, he's likely moving up to middleweight. That leaves the door open for Jermell Charlo to fight Jaime Munguia for the vacant title, or possibly Carlos Adames if Munguia were to pass on that fight, because Munguia has expressed interest in fighting the winner of Triple G and Ryota Murata. So Adames, in my opinion, is going to get a crack at somebody this year, and it could very well be for his first world title. So we're going to wait and see what happens. But Carlos Adames really has found himself with that victory over Sergey Derevyanchenko. He's found himself in the driver's seat, so to speak. And again, he could land a title shot. You could see him fight Jermall Charlo next. You could see him fight Jaime Munguia or Jermell Charlo in the second half of the year for the vacant title. Or he could just, be slated as the mandatory number 1 contender to somebody by the beginning of 2023. We got to wait and see what happens. But Carlos Adames, like I said, has set himself up nicely. Now, his stats real quick, 27 years old, so he's still young and, ready to roll. 21-1 with 16 knockouts right now. So, again, Carlos Adames has set himself up nicely, and he needs to capitalize off of that win over Derevyanchenko. So we'll see what happens, but that's it. That's my 2021 year-end top 10s for the 160-pound middleweight division. Contender Carlos Adames. I hope you guys enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.